Hang on. Privyat, comrade! Hello and welcome to the stream. It is 10:44 AM, so we are approaching end of the morning. The stream was a little bit delayed because I had some technical difficulties, and obviously Wargaming themselves had a few niggles to deal with themselves this morning from the server issues that we had overnight, and slight delay in getting the server back online properly. So, well, here we are. I'm going to go through some of the main features of the update, go through the ships. It won't be a very long stream because I do have to be somewhere this afternoon. Mostly going to get my glasses fixed because I've snapped the arm off one of my glasses, so you can see no specs. And I also have an appointment as well, so I won't be on for a great deal of time, but I'll go through what I can. Please do still in the chat, and I'll try and answer any questions best I can with the best of my knowledge. So, we have got Russian cruisers now. We've got Russian commanders. We have some Russian destroyers. A brand new free XP ship, global XP ship. What else do we have? Some upcoming ships. And I'm not sure. I wonder if the April Fool's mode is available to have a look at or not. Let's have a look. So, flick over to the game screen. There we go. Okie dokie. Oh. So I am broadcasting across Facebook, Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. So if you are on any of the channels, do say hello. On all four platforms, all messages come through and get posted on screen. So you'll be able to see what other people have written there, from there. And obviously I can see everything to start up with anyway. So let's have a look. Okay, so the April Fool's mode isn't listed just yet. So I think first things first, we'll have a look. Let's have a look, see if we've got a new port. No, there's no new port, sadly. It's the standard. Is it Philippines? I think it's the Philippines port. Yeah, it's the Philippines port. Let's have a look. So see what we've got in the ship-wise, in the ship department. So, yep, there we go. We've got the Russian Tier 1 cruiser Novik. If I recall, she has 6 or 8 120mm guns, I think they are. 8 120mm guns, yes. I did do a little bit of research on some of these ships, so before we go into the main research, so this is the Russian T1 cruiser. You'll find this in all your ports. It's a free ship. And she's this, as with all the other T1 ships, she's just there as a getting on to the tech tree kind of thing. So there's no differences in the port screen. Ships. Let's have a look at the ships. So, yeah, we have the 7 Russian cruisers. So we've got Novik, Bogatyr, Svietlana, Kirov, Budyonny, Shchorz, and Chapayev. In addition to that, we have a Dursky, Izyaslav, Podvoisky, Gnevny, Minsk, and Tashkent. Okay. So, as I said, I did do this a bit of reset. So, we'll go through the ships first, and we'll do the commanders afterwards. I think that's only fair. So, the cruiser Novik. Novik was laid down and launched in 1900, so she was 120 years old. She was commissioned in 1901 and was scuttled in 1904 during the Russo-Japanese War. She was raised and she was claimed as a prize of war by Japan later in 1904, and then was sold for scrap in 1913. She got a little bit of history. She saw a conflict in the Russo-Japanese War. She took part in the Battle of Port Arthur, and her commander Her commander was Captain Nikolai von Essen, who Nikolai von Essen is in game as one of the he's the universal commander for Russia. She took some damage in several battles, ultimately being scuttled. Okay, so she was scuttled whilst trapped in a Neva Bay and forced into the Battle of Korsakov by the cruiser Tashima. And the crew realizing that they were hopelessly outgunned, they decided to scuttle. Yes, I am reading from Wikipedia, but a little bit of history will never harm anyone. Interestingly, the variant we have in game is not how she was built. As built, she had only 6 120mm guns. In game, we have 8, but she also had 5 torpedo launchers, which we don't have in game because it's a T1 ship, obviously. Moving on, so we'll do a quick look at the how she appears in game before we move on, shall we? So there's one upgrade available, upgraded target system mod 2, and that just increases your range by 10%. Her trait is that she's got long reach, so she's got long range guns. 14,500 hit points, 8 120mm guns with a 5-second reload. T1 ships, they all have, except the Weymouth, they all have HG as default. Maximum speed 25 knots, 4-second reload shift, 500-meter turning circle. Concealment 9.3 kilometers. Yeah, it's fairly run of the mill. Nothing out of the ordinary for tier 1. Next, so I'll put my screen back on. Welcome to the stream, Alois. Welcome to the stream. Next ship we'll take a look at a Bogatyr. So Bogatyr is actually one of the more famous ships being produced by Russia, and I do believe she's actually she's still afloat. Is she still afloat? No, she was scrapped. It's a sister ship, Oleg, that's still afloat. So this is the Russian cruiser Bogatyr, our tier 2. As you can see, she follows the formula for most of, well, she now can't follow the formula for most of the other tier 2 cruisers, or at least half of them at least, in that she's basically a mini battleship, and with lots and lots of guns. So her upgrades as available are targeting system mod 2, the B-hull, which gives her upgrade in hit points, decrease of other shift, increase the number of main battery guns to 14, but increases the number of barrels available to 16. She has artillery, so they, as standard, she has 52mm as standard. But the upgrade reduces that down to 130mm guns. But that decreases the reload time, and also it has the impact of decreasing the damage, but increases fire chance. So, Bogatyr is one of the few ships in game which, when you upgrade the guns, it changes the caliber. So just bear that in mind when you're out thinking of upgrading her. And then obviously, yes, I've gone through all those, yes. So, what are her traits like? So she has sure shot, and she also has slow. I mean, she's a protected cruiser. What do you expect? So, Bogatyr, she was laid down in 1899, so she's actually older than Novik. She was commissioned into the fleet in 1902, decommissioned in 1918, and scrapped in 1922. She saw action in World War One and saw action during the Russo-Japanese War as well. She let's see which battles she took part in. She She transported troops to the siege of Port Arthur. Unfortunately, she was in mid-1914. She struck a rock at Hammer Bay and was so badly damaged that she couldn't partake in the rest of the war and remained docked at Vladivostok. So during World War One, she took part in the Battle of the Islands, in which she drove the SMS Albatross onto a beach. So she basically did what I usually do to myself: beat myself. Okay. Yeah, a bit of a rough trade-off, but you get more of them, and you get a faster firing rate as well. So that's a balancing factor, I suppose. Next up is the Svetlana. At these early tiers, all these ships do have the same available modules. So, also same consumables. So you got your damage control. I think that's actually it. Do we get? Did they get? I think they get sonar as well. I think from tier 3 you get sonar. I think. So Svetlana, she gets become even more of a gunboat, but she is classified as a light cruiser. First light cruiser with turbine propulsion laid down for the Imperial Russian Navy. So she's actually a very fast ship. She's also the first ship in the Russian line that gets torpedoes. As you can see at the back of the ship, she gets 4 triple mounts of torpedoes. So her main armament consists of 15 130mm guns with an 8.5 second reload time, max damage of 1900 HE for HE, 9% fire chance, 2400 AP damage. Okay, so torpedoes, she obviously gets the 4 triple mounts. They have a reload time of 39 seconds, but they do only have a 5-kilometer range, and they only travel at 52 knots. They are very slow and very short-ranged. Maneuverability 29 knots, 590-meter turn circle, 10.1 second rudder shift base. Concealment, she can attack from 10.9 kilometers, so she's pretty stealthy. And she can also fire from smoke fairly respectably as well. Don't be counting armor though, because she has very little armor. She's only got 22,100 hit points, so you won't be taking many hits from bigger ships at that tier anyway, really. So, but she's quite a. I do like the Svetlana. So Svetlana is an interesting, has a bit of interesting history behind her. And that she's known by several names. She was originally meant as a larger class of ships. They were planned. So the Svetlana class were planned to be a class of 4 light cruisers. Only Svetlana was produced and completed as a cruise. The rest were completed as oil tankers. Sorry, two were completed as oil tankers. The other one was scrapped completely. However, Svetlana, she had quite a lengthy service. As built, she was in commission from 1913 to, let's just have a quick look for you. I want to say to 1958, but that may be one of the other ships of the class. Yes. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Svetlana is the name of the class. She was built as that. Once the Russian Revolution took place, she was renamed to. Where has it gone? She was renamed. I lost the. She was renamed to Profintum, before being renamed again to Krasny Krim. Sorry, I know this is very unprofessional. Me looking at Wikipedia whilst I'm doing this, but I have the memory of a sieve, so just be gentle. Don't be too mean to me. And this is only the second time I've gone through this kind of process for you. So available create. So she has aim system mod 1 or main battery mod as the options for the upgrades. Modifications. So you've got your standard 10% fire, 10% increase to your firing range. Your B-hole, which decreases your rudder shift and increases the amount of hit points you've got available to you, and you've got a gun upgrade, which increases your AP shell damage and drastically reduces your touch reverse speed. That's quite a significant drop in touch reverse speed, actually. Okay. So, next up is the only heavy cruiser of the Russian line, as we have in the moment until we get to Molotov. But this is the Kirov. She on World War Blitz, she's actually one of my favourite ships. She's brutal. So let's bring up the Kirov class. Laid down in 1935 and launched in 1936, being commissioned into the fleet in 1938. The Kirov class, as I say, were the first heavy cruisers of the Russian Navy, armed with 3 triple 180mm guns, mounted in the 3 turrets. So you can see the 3 guns there, 3 guns at the back. They're also very fast. If I remember rightly, 35.5 knots. Yep, that's pretty damn quick for a cruiser. Kirov comes with a plane. She gets sonar, and she also gets damage control, obviously. She comes with 23,400 hit points. As I say, they've got 3 380mm guns. Sorry, with 180mm guns. 12.9 firing range, 30.5 second reload, so she's quite a slow reload. So just bear that in mind when you are taking her out. Maximum HE shell damage 2300, 30% chance to set fire. AP shell damage 3800, and she comes with 6 100mm secondary guns mounted in 2 lots of 3 on one side, 3 on the other. She comes with torpedoes, 2 triple launchers, 1 triple launcher each side. And they have a 70-second reload, maximum damage of 14,400, quite a high detectability at 1.3 kilometers, and they only have a 4-kilometer range. So these torpedoes are not offensive at all. They do, however, have quite a fast torpedo speed of 64 knots. So they're good. It'd be good for surprising ships. So her traits are sure shot. So she's got good ballistics on her shells, which is true from all the Russian ships, in all honesty, that they have quite flat arcs. She's got big guns for her tier. Only Furitaka has bigger. At tier 4. She also has paper thin armor, which she does. And she's a floating citadel. So you need to use your speed to try and stay out of in battery firing range of enemy ships, effectively. But as I say, because she's got good velocity on the guns and good flat firing arcs, you can sit at the back of the map and snipe from quite a distance, which is basically the playstyle for the Russian cruisers, in all honesty. Now, next up, we have Budyonny. So this is the first of the paper ships which did not exist. She's a design. Now, Budyonny is interesting because we've lost the 180mm guns. We've gone down to 152mm, so they're down into the 3 triple 152mm guns. faster reload time than Kirov. Pretty much the same specs for the damage and fire charge, things like that, and the same secondary arm, but we get an extra 0.5 kilometers on it. You've got utterly atrocious torpedoes. They are 3.9 kilometers. You've actually lost 0.1 of a kilometer to Kirov. Speed's about the same. You still got the 70-second reload time as well. But Johnny's fast again, and keep with the rest of the from Kirov onwards. They're all fast cruisers. 35 knot top speed, 710 meter turn a second, so she doesn't turn very well. And a 12.1 rudder shift is a little on the slow side as well at this level. Detectability, she does not have good detectability. So if you've got camouflages, you'll want to apply them to this ship to try and get that detectability down a touch. 6.5 kilometer firing range and smoke, so that's in keeping with the size of the guns anyway. Now, Bajuni. Reason why she's unique, because she is the earliest tier which you can get radar. Yep. The tier 5 Russian light cruiser, Bajuni, gets radar. You will have to give up your plane for it, but no, Montgomery, I'm going to go through the commanders next. Well, after doing the ships. So yes, the tier 5 cruiser gets radar. I believe off the top of my head it's 9 kilometers. But you do have to, so you can either choose radar or choose a plane. So that is a fairly substantial change to the gameplay meta for the Russians. And has quite wide implications for the rest of the game, in my opinion. Upgrades wise, she gets aiming systems, secondary battery or main battery mod. This is the usual. Same here as well. Steering gears, propulsion mod, or damage control. Her upgrade, her modifications. All right, no, those should be modifications. These are upgrades. Torpedoes, you get an extra 0.1 kilometers on your torpedo range, extra 900 damage, and an extra 2 knots to your speed. 10% increase in firing range, the standard. 5,000 hit points increase in 5,000 hit point increase for the B-hull. 3.5 second drop in the rudder shift, and you get another bunch of torpedo launches as well. I want to say the 10 tubes, so I think they become quintuple launchers. So rather than having 2 triples, you get two quintuple launches, one on either side. So yeah, as with Kirov, playstyle is back to the map sniper effectively, because you've got the very flat shell axe, fast muzzle velocities. But obviously with that radar, that will come very useful if we ever get another tier 5 ranked, and it should certainly give some of the destroyers something to think about. So yes, Kirov is the, let's say the so far to recap. So we've got Novik, Bogatia, Svetlana, heavy cruiser Kirov, and then light radar cruiser Budyonny. Next up is the Shores, which is again another ship that did not exist. But she is effectively a design study or a blueprint for what would become Chapayev. So this was the ship that featured in the teaser image in on Discord, on Facebook, and on Twitter. She gets the same triple 152mm guns as Bajuni has, but she now has 12 152mm guns. 2 at the front, 2 at the back. In addition, she also has the 2 triple launches as standard. She gets the an option, she gets damage control, sonar, and then an option to either select plane, the catapult fighter, or radar. Welcome to the stream, Papa. This is me stumbling my way through what this update has. Probably doing a terrible job, but oh well. And keeping with the other ships of the line, she's a fast, long-range sniper that does have the capacity to hunt down DDs once other threats have been taken out. So, she gets the usual suite of upgrades for the first slot and the second slot. And then the third slot, she gets steering gear mods, concealment mod, or tag acquisition. They look pretty rubbish. Did you pay attention to the bit part where I said that they get radar at tier 5? Yeah, radar at tier 5. They are long-range snipers, effectively. They're not like your... they can't just sit in the middle of the map like the British cruisers can. They can't hide behind an island like the US cruisers can. And they can't just do stealth torpedo snipes with like the Japanese can. These are long-range snipers. Pretty much, if you enjoy Jean Bar or Iowa reverses of the back of the map, these ships are the ships for you. Upgrade wise, so we have the artillery mod, so it increases your shell damage, plus 100 for both AP and HE. Tag acquisition mod increases your rate by 10% as usual. The B-hull increases your hit points by 4,300, decreases your other shift by 3.6, gives you an extra torpedo tube on each launcher, but you do lose to your secondary guns. Onto the main stats. Well, she's got 27,900 hit points. She has absolutely atrocious armor. 100mm is the lowest so far in the cruiser line for the Russians. As I said before, the 4 triple 150mm guns with a 13.9km firing range, 8-second reload, 25-second turret traverse. You see the HE damage and AP shell damage is 2200 and 3300 respectively, with 12% fighting chance. Secondary guns is exactly the same as Bugioni. So the torpedoes. Fair enough. So the top. Recommend. So you've got the who have you got? You've got Finnish, British, and German. The French line can be quite fun. It's a bit tricky at tier 5 because the Galicineer isn't a very good ship, but the other ships, the Duguay Toine, Emile Bertin, Algerie, and Charles Martel are very fun cruisers. Anyway, back onto the Russians. Torpedo launches for the shores is 2 triple 533mm launches, 76-second reload time, 7.2 second traverse time, quite a decent damage, 15,100, 1.4 kilometer detectability, which is better than most torpedoes at this tier. Does only have a 4 kilometer torpedo range, but they do travel at 70 knots, so they're very fast but very short range. Speed-wise, 35.5 knots, 900-meter turning circle, which I believe puts it to the 3rd worst turning ship in the game, behind Iowa and Hood. If my knowledge serves me well. 12.4 second rudder shift. Again, you can get that down a little bit by upgrading the B-hull. Concealment, not very stealthy at all. 13.5 kilometers. With a 6.9 kilometer detectability while firing smoke, and she can be detected by air at 8.1 kilometers. So she's got sure shot, she's got pyromania, which implies that she's got decent fire chance, 12%. 12% isn't so bad actually. Again, she has very poor armor. Don't be trying to brawl on this thing. You will get decked by pretty much anything and everything looking at you. And she also has a very big citadel, but she is not a bad looking ship. I'll give her that. Nice square bottom and a nice proud bow. emblazoned with the People's Star. Next up, this ship is going to be controversial. Chapayev. So, the Chapayev did in fact exist. She was a development of the Kirov class. Ultimately developed into her role by development of the Kirov class enlarged and given the 152mm guns that you've seen so previously already. She gets the 12 152mm. She's quite a long ship. She also gets the usual, well, standard by now, the two triple 533mm launchers for torpedoes. 32,000 hit points. I want to go through these bits before I go through the other bits, because the other bits are important. 32,000 hit points. 14.5 kilometer range, 8-second reload. Fairly standard. Damage is the same as what it was previously. You've got the 4 dual 100mm guns this time, with 5 kilometer firing range, 3.8 second reload for your secondaries. 3.7 kilometer range torpedoes, 60 knots. So you've actually kind of gone down in speed, which is a bit of a peculiarity with the Russian line, in all honesty, is that the speed of the torpedoes isn't consistent. Some go much faster, some go fairly slow, some have a bit higher range, some don't have a higher range. It's something you're going to need to work with, but they do a fair bit of damage. 16,700 is not bad for torpedoes, but they are purely defensive. So if you get surprised by a ship or like a battleship or a cruiser coming around an island, or you can get an ambush on them. Maneuverability, she's a bit slower, 33.5 knots, so she's not as fast as Shaw's. She does handle a bit better though. She can turn in 10 meters less, and the 13.5 second rudder shift is fairly standard for the Russian ships so far. Concealment 14.3, fairly standard. 7.5 kilometer range detectability in smoke, and 8.6 kilometer range by air. Now, as you can see, she gets a lot of upgrades. So you've got your usual suite of modifications. So you've got your aiming system, secondary battery, main battery, steering gear, propulsion, damage control, steering gear, concealment, attack acquisition, secondary battery, gunfire control, torpedo launchers, or main battery mods for the 4th slot. She gets 4 upgrades for the actual hull itself. So you've got your increased torpedoes, you've got your increased damage by 1233, increased torpedo range by 0.3 to 4 kilometers, and increase in torpedo speed by 5 knots to 65 knots. You've got your artillery, which increases your damage by 100 on both HE and AP, so that's fairly standard for what you've seen so far with the Russian cruisers anyway. Plus 5,000 hit points for the B-hull, decrease of 3.8 seconds to the rudder shift, and obviously you've got your standard 10% firing range increase. Now, what's controversial about Chapayev? She gets 30mm bow and stern armor. So, like the Edinburgh, she can tank Iowa and Amagi shells from the front of the ship. So if they're aiming directly at the nose of the ship, or the bow, you can bounce shots on that aimed directly at the nose. Obviously, if they aim at the superstructure or just fire HE, you're not going to have that immunity. And obviously, if you over angle, you're going to be smashed through your citadel, through your cheek plates. But yes, that is what makes this ship particularly controversial, is that she's another light cruiser with 30mm bounce. Now, I know purists will say, well, light cruiser only terms the caliber, yes, but that's just the way it is. Most people associate light cruisers to be lightly armed and lightly armoured. That is incorrect, but as with the rest of the Russian line, she does play better at long range. She is a long-range sniper with decent AP, decent HE, with good velocities on the guns, and good shellacs. As with Shaw's and Budyonny, you get the option to swap out your plane for Actually, does it even have a plane, actually? No, this one doesn't have a plane. So this one just gets straight up radar at tier 7. So you got your so you have your damage control, your radar, your sonar, and your heal at tier 7. Alright, so destroyers. So you can't get Dursky. You can't get Dursky yet, unfortunately. There's an early access ship that is not available for early access. Generally speaking, the traits of the well, I'm not going to go through this. I'm not going to go through the stats of the Russian destroyers actually, because I think that will probably be better placed for a full video another time, and obviously a full video when they go live properly. When they get their own update. So, but we'll have a quick glimpse of them. So this is the Dursky, the tier 2 destroyer. Here's your stats. Quite short range on top, 4 kilometer range on her torpedoes. So, as with the cruisers, Russian destroyers have short torpedo ranges. So this is the Ichislav, which is your first early access ship, which you can obtain by purchasing or obtaining the Soviet crate, which I'll go through in the store in a few moments' time. So this is the Ichislav. She comes with 3 triple torpedo launchers, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 102mm guns. With 5-second reload, 8.6 kilometers. See on there. 9,400 hit points. Yeah, 3 triple torpedo launchers, 450mm. Again, 4 kilometer range with 51 knot speed. So these destroyers are not torpedo boats. As with the cruisers, they play better at longer ranges, and then using the destroyer, they're using the torpedoes for swarm tactics and when you get in close when there's fewer threats to challenge you. 35 knot top speed, 580 meter turn circle, 3.8 second rudder shift, 6.1 kilometer detectability, which is quite poor. 3.1 kilometer detectability by air, 1.9 while firing your smoke. Yeah, she's a small. She's not. She won't be on my must-have list. Let's put it that way. Podvoisky. So she gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's another 500. I want to say 120mm guns here. 130mm guns. 9.2 kilometer range. Again, really terrible torpedo range. 4 kilometers, 64 knot top speed, 6.5 kilometer detectability. Not great at all. She's fast though. She is very fast. 42 knots. That puts her as I want to say the second fastest destroyer in game, behind third fastest destroyer next behind Le Terrible and what is going to be Tashkent. So 42 knots, 700 meter turn circle, so she turns like a bus. Not great. 4.5 second rudder shift, so she's got a half decent rudder shift to her though. Oh, wrong button. Let's see what you can do with the torpedo. So you can your torpedo upgrade increases your speed with your torpedoes. Yeah, just the usual. Gnevny. These look like again 1, 2, 3, 4. So Gnevny gets 4. I want to say 130mm guns again. Not a bad looking ship. Squared off bottom. They are 2 triple launches. Have a quick look at your options. You've got your usual options in there. Usual. So your torpedo upgrade here can increase the damage, increases your reload time though. Increase the speed to 70 knots from 65, and also increase the detectability of the torpedoes. Oh, wrong button. 12,000 hit points. Yeah, 130mm guns, 9.6 kilometer range. So they do have decent range to them. That is definitely a bonus. 900 hit points, 900 HE shell damage, 8% fire chance, 2500 AP damage. Yeah, 4 kilometer range. Again, these are ambush torpedoes, not long range torpedoes. 30 knot top speed, 610 meter turn circle, 6.1 second rudder shift, which is not great. 7 kilometer detectability by range. So an important trait to remember about the Russian destroyers is that they are not stealthy in the slightest. They are effectively cruisers without a citadel. So do bear that in mind when you play them. Next up is the Minsk. Again, she has this one time she has 5 130mm, so two super fire at the front, one facing the rear at the back, and the the middle, sorry, and then 2 super firing at the aft. She does come equipped with quadruple launchers this time. She's got 2 quadruple launchers. Usual suite of upgrades. You've got the concealment mod, target mod, steering gear mod. Yeah, you've got your increased range, increased hit points, reduce your rudder shift. Interesting upgrade to the torpedoes. So your torpedo upgrade reduces the reload time by 3 seconds, increases damage by 2833, decreases the speed by 5 knots, doesn't change the detectability by C, it must be a bug. You've got the gun upgrade, which increases your AP and HE damage. So, give a quick look at stats. 13,800. Yeah, 5 130mm guns with a 5-second reload. So they're not going to really challenge the likes of the Jervis or the Benson at this tier for reload speed, but you should be able to be hitting for substantial damage, and again they have good velocity and good trajectories. Yeah, 4 kilometer range torpedoes, 70 knots standard. Oh, 43 knot top speed, so she's now with the second fastest destroyer in game. 690 meter turn circle, so that turn circle is on par with some battleships. I believe some battleships even turn better than that. I think the Colorado has like 650 off the top of my head. 7.5 kilometer detectability by sea. That is quite substantial. So yeah, not stealthy in the slightest. And the final ship that we cannot get in this update is the Tashkent. So she comes with 3 dual 130mm guns. So she gets 6 of them in twin mounts. And then she has 3 triple launchers for torpedoes. The usual suite of upgrades here. You get torpedo mod, your main battery mod, bits and pieces there. And you get target suite, which increases the range by 10%. Tashkent B-hull increases hit points to 21,500, so she's got quite a hefty amount of hit points. Reload torpedoes reduces reload, decreases the damage, increases the range from 4 kilometers to 8 kilometers, decreases the speed from 65 knots to 55 knots, but makes them more stealthy. So that's a fairly hefty sacrifice you have to decide what you want to make on that one. You've got your usual artillery upgrade as well, increasing by 250 AP damage and 1,500. 150 HE damage. Yeah. So 16,400 hit points base. Yeah, as I said, 3 dual 130mm guns with 5-second reload, 9.9 kilometer firing range, 18.6 kilometers, 18.6 second traverse speed, 4 kilometer range of torpedoes, as with all the other Russian torpedoes, very short ranged. 42.5 knot maximum speed, 730 meter turn circle, a really slow rudder shift time. Very slow rudder shift, 8.5 seconds. And 7.6 kilometer range detectability. Hello, Glorious. Welcome to the stream. So, that is the tech tree ships. Other change in the tech tree, actually. We now have Mutsu featuring in the list of tech tree, or in the tech tree list for a premium. We have Warspite in there as well. T61. And Degrasse is appearing in there as well, and Dunkirk. Right, we will move on to the commanders. So, Russian commanders. 7 of them, as with the other nations. Got Nikolai von Essen, who is the default commander. His base trait nooks and crannies increase the minimum ricochet angles of your ship's AP shells. He's got your usual suite of skills. So if in row 1, he's got Contact Imminent, Barely Out of Peril, Burn It Down XXL. Row 2, Look at Me Now, Crisscross, Before It's Too Late. Back in stock, Collective Labour, which is one of the new skills. So Collective Labour increases the damage control duration and increases the charge of damage control party. So this skill is unique only to the Russian, because the Russian battleships, you do not get infinite supply of damage control consumable. You get limited supply. Velocious to increase your maximum speed. Ace 4 throws Smoke on the Water, Reaching Out XXL, Steer Clear. And then legendaries are Fully Packed, Will to Rebuild, and Unstoppable. So it's your fairly standard batch of skills. Next up, we will look at Anton Dugurin. So this is one that's been in game for quite some time. If you, for those of us that were part of the alpha test for World War Legends, no, not alpha test. If those of us that bought the Founders Edition of World War Legends with the Ultimate version, you got Gromyashki FE, which is a premium tier 4 Russian destroyer, and you got Anton Gurin as a commander at that point in time. So, Anton Gurin comes with a Stabber as his base trait, which increases your ship destroyer's AP shells penetration multiplier. Basically makes it means your destroyer can penetrate armor more deeply. For its skills, you've got Contact is Imminent. That increases your travel speed of your torpedoes. You've got Quick Fix, which is basically Last Stand from PC, for those that are familiar with that. Basically means that your steering gear and engine modules continue to function if they get knocked out. Look at Me Now and Flank Speed. So you've got your Concealment skill and your Speed skill at the expense of Rudder Shift. Back in stock, Glass Cannon and Piercer. So arm penetration increase for your AP shells, increase the accuracy, precision of your destroyer's guns at the and precision and accuracy of your main battery guns at the expense of hit points. Back in stock, so that decreases your reload time for your torpedoes. Then we have Smoke in the Water and Sidestep for skills down here. Unstoppable and Rather Be Torching as legendaries. So now we're going to get onto some more of the new ones. So let's tackle the controversial ones first, shall we? Because this one is going to be a debate that's going to rumble on for quite some time, I suspect. So Nikolai Kuznetsov. Follow the Sun. So increase the, so it's a flat increase for consumable for your cruiser's main battery gun range. For this skill. But, and there's a rather large but here. You can increase that further by using the Beyond range, or you can fit Burn It Down XXL. So that's a usual top row there. Down here is where it starts getting a little bit interesting. So before it's too late, so you've got your top detectability range, igniter, so you can actually increase in HE shells. Same with Burnt Down XL, increase in HE shell fire chance. This is where it gets interesting. Both Russian commanders get access to the skill Intuitive, which is also more commonly known as RPF and is associated with some of the destroyer gunboat builds in Legends currently. Basically what this skill does, it increases, as it says on the screen, sonar duration and surveillance duration of your radar, but it also shows it shows where the nearest ship is. So if you have a hidden destroyer, it will show you if that destroyer is the nearest ship to you. It will point the direction to where that destroyer is. So that, coupled with the radar of the tier 5, 6, and 7, and their high speed, means it is a very potent. So it'll make your Russian cruisers very potent destroyer hunters in the late game if the destroyers haven't already been taken out. Other skills, so we have velocity standard, increase speed of your cruiser. Punch through, increase your penetration and AP damage of for your cruiser. And then equilibrium of power, also known as IFHE. Unlike on PC though, where on PC they get a nerf to the fire chance as a result of getting that extra HE penetration, you get a nerf to your HE shell damage. Now, in Legends, that increments down from 20% to 10% as you go up the ranks. So effectively, you can increase your penetration power of your HE shells. It means you're going to do more damage to battleships, things like that, because you're going to be able to penetrate the deck armor of the superstructure more effectively with lower caliber guns, or even the bow and stern, and at the extent of having a little bit less damage. But you're not going to lose out on your fire chance, so you could effectively stack Burn It Down XXL, Igniter, if you don't want to do a destroyer hunting game, along with equilibrium power, and just sit there and spam HE from the back of the map, doing crap tons of damage all over enemy battleships and cruisers. Yeah. Steer clear, rudder shift steering gear, repair time, fixated, so that increases your accuracy and dispersion of your guns. And you've got refill station and fully packed now. For the Russian cruisers, my pick is in fact Nikolai Kuznetsov, sorry, because that fully packed skill, particularly if you're rocking the radar, very useful. The next cruiser commander is Stepan Makarov. No, it's not. Yes, it is Stepan Makarov. So this increases the duration of your damage control party, and my god, is that one hell of a beard. His base trait is increase the duration of your damage control party. So that basically means that you can get up to, so increase that 1% every level, so you can get 20% extra on your damage control party. Now, Stepan Makarov gets Burn It Down XXL, Ingenious, and Piercer on the first row. So Ingenious is the one which gives you tells you how many people are aiming their ship at you. Also increases your turret traverse decreases your turret traverse, sorry, and reduces the amount of damage you take from splash damage. So this one is going to be kind of your own preference, really. Second row skill before it's too late. Full speed ahead and intuitive. Again, this is the skill which tells you where the nearest ship is. Or signposts you in the direction of the nearest ship. And then you have Velocious, Sponge, which these ones that we should all be familiar with anyway at the moment. Equilibrium power again. Steer clear, acoustic chamber. By the book and fully packed. Oh, actually, looking at this one, I would be quite torn between Makarov and Kuznetsov, actually, because that, and that all together would make a very good support cruiser. A very, very good support cruiser. But their inspiration is pretty powerful. It'll be very powerful for battleships, actually, because you get that little extra time recovering from being hit by fires or floods before the next person can unleash hell on you. So we'll go to the I want to say battleship. So yes, so Lev Gala increases the HE shell damage of your battleship. So there is a very particular build for a very particular ship, which this is going to be murderous on. And it's not Russian, but I'll do that after we've gone through the rest of the commanders. And this one that I actually came up and found when testing. So, Flame Arrow increases the battleship HE damage by increments of 2.5% per rank. Skills, you've got Not One for Nuisance and Flammable Cannoneer. So this is your accuracy commander for your battleships. Crisscross, Gyrate and Drill Bits. And then we've got two new skills here. So we've got Volunteer. Decrease the real time of your damage control party and receive extra consumable charges at the cost of a lower duration. So you starts off with 2% reload time reduction, an extra charge, but it gives you a 70% nerf to the duration. And that does change quite significantly. I think you get down to like 10% at rank 4 and plus 8% reload time. Or something like that. Out of the top of my head. Marksmanship, we're all familiar with that. Collective Labour, we've just had that skill on. Well, we had that skill on the default commander Von Essen. So the increased duration damage control party and receive next consumable charge. And then we've got Reach Out XXL, which increases your main battery range, and Emergency Specialist, decreased reload time and duration. Farsight and Will to Rebuild complete his legendary skills. Just bear in mind that if you are going to spec for a Russian battleship, that we only have one at the moment, and that one is not going to be coming until the 23rd of December, 23rd of March, and that is going to be Imperator Nikolai I. I don't have the specs for that ship at the moment in time. Next up, Vladimir Trebetskoy. Oh no. That's who I want. Mikhail Kedrov, sorry, not Vladimir Trebetskoy. So, Mikhail Kedrov. He is your next Russian destroyer, Russian battleship commander, which increases the main battery traverse speed of your battleship. So this goes from 0.05% degrees per second to 1 degree per second. And he is your quintessential brawler captain with the Not One for Nuisance brawler, Porcupine, Crisscross, and he gets the volunteer and collective labour skills, which we've just gone through before. Firefighter, Reach Out XXL, Master Mechanic, Running with Scissors, and Will to Rebuild. And Vladimir Trebetskoy is the other destroyer commander. So you've got the battle range damage, reduces the incoming damage of. Reduces incoming damage to your destroyer. We have Contact is Imminent, Observant Rage, Mortar, Look at Me Now, Another controversial skill, playing with fire. So this increases your destroyer's main battery gun range. So that's up 2%. It also gives you a plus 2% chance of causing fires at stock. And a damage reduction of 30% to your destroyer guns. Now, at maximum, that increases to... off the top, let me pull up just so I get the right information to you. It goes up quite significantly. All right. Okay. So what's the skill? So at maximum strength, you'll get a plus 5% increase to the range of your destroyer's main guns. You'll get a plus 8% increase to your destroyer's high explosive fire chance. But that 30% damage reduction stays quite flat. So that stays regardless of whether it's rank 1 or rank 4. You also get twist and track. So you have to make a decision between twist and track or playing with fire. Twist and track is the destroyer equivalent of intuitive. As it also shows you the direction of the nearest enemy ship. And 1,000 cuts, which decrease the reload time of your destroyer's main battery guns. So that skill, it was previously only seen on the US gunboat commander. I want to say that was William Halsey. Cloudy Day, Smoke in the Water, complete the row, the final row for the standard skills, with Leviathan and Unstoppable finishing it out for legendaries. Now, as I mentioned before, Lev Geller has that HE shell damage skill. So if you can get him maxed out, combine him with Louis Fournier as an inspiration. So Geller gets, I think it's plus 4%, plus 6%, plus 5%. I think it goes to. He's Fournier is plus 4. Yeah, sorry, no, that's 5. That's 4. And then we go all the way over here. Azure Nelson, and her skill, Battleship main gun HE damage, that goes up to 16%. So on the British crew, on the British battleship line, if you combine the commander Nelson with Louis Fournier and Lev Geller, you can get a 25% increase to your HE shell damage. That's right, 25%. Now that works out up, I think, gets it to about 8,600 damage per shell. That is gloriously broken and disgusting. Just pointing that one out there. Let's have a quick look at the campaign. Alright, so the campaign is 95 levels. We do have a new set of weekly boosts. So if you did your weekly boost yesterday, you've got a new set today. Masterful. And this time there is a weekly boost which requires you to do it in a division. So yeah, to get the maximum. So you've got 2 lots of 10 here. So the new look for weekly boost are. We'll go this one. So you've got weekly boost 1 for 5 promotion orders plus the campaign currency, not campaign, the Soviet store currency. You've got 10 promotion orders for weekly 1 and 10 promotion orders for weekly 2. But these 2 are solo. And you've got 2 more, which are divisions. So if you've got friends you play with and you get regular divisions, you've got even more of a reason to division for them because you can get 20 promotion orders for it. So you got the 5 there as well. Premium slides, I think they're just the bog standard. Yeah, premium slides are just the usual. Daily boosts at the moment for the duration of this update will feature the Russian currency, the ruble. We'll go through that in a moment. So the Week Havoc. Let's have a look at the Week Havoc this time round. So this week you can get 475 renown for the campaign, which, if my maths works out, that is so 475 divided by 25. That's 25 levels. So you've got win a battle, 20,000 XP, earn 1.25 million credits, earn 1,250 global XP, and then earn 20,000 commander XP. And then your shakedown trials are in 8 battles, make the top 4 of your team by XP received. Make the top 3 in 7 battles, and make the top 2 in 6. And then there is the Russian Destroyer Mastery, which as a final reward gets you a Russian crate. So you've got Izyaslav. So you've got win a battle, end 5,000 XP, cause 50,000 damage to ships. And you can get 5 boosters, 2 camouflage, 10,000 commander XP, 150,000 credits, and 2 boxes. 5 boosters for Podvoisky. Again, win a battle. 2 camouflages, 15,000 commander experience for 10,000 normal XP. And do 75,000 damage to ships and get yourself 200,000 credits and 2 crates. Gnevny, again, win a battle, you get 5 boosters. And 20,000 XP in the ship, and you'll get 2 camouflage and 20,000 commander XP. Then do 100,000 hit damage to ships, and you'll get 250,000 credits and 2 crates. And the final stage is the Minsk. You get 5 boosters for winning a battle. 2 camouflages, 25,000 commander XP for doing 125,000 damage to ships. And then 1 battle, make it to the top 2 in your team by XP received, and you'll get 1 day premium, 300,000 silver, and another 2 crates, as well as getting a Russian container. So, well, to get the Russian container, you have to get all 4. Now, bear in mind, these only drop in the the crates, so just that's something to bear in mind. Then we have the 95,000 level campaign as well. So there's a lot of stuff there. I shall, rather than going through all the campaign rewards, what I'll just do, I will bring it up onto the screen because I've got it here in front of me. So give me 2 moments. Let's see if we can get this to work. Why won't this work? Let's see if we just have campaign. So this, I'm going to pop it up on the screen in front of us. So this is going to be the rewards for the campaign. So just give me 2 seconds. No, they won't be brought out. Those mastery are just kind of there for something to do if you do get your Russian Destroyer from the crates. So this is the War and Peace campaign rewards. So you can see on the screen in front of us. There's quite a bit there. With the Albert backing, you can get 3 insignias, 20 promotional orders, 3 universal accommodations, 6 days of premium, 750 doubloons, 2,850 rubles, a commander crate, 13 Soviet crates, 2 big Soviet crates, 90,000 global experience, 375,000 commander experience, 1.8 million silver, 80 boosters, 32 camouflages, a patch in the background, and obviously the main reward, Mikhail Kutuzov, which I'm now going to go through with you in a second. So, let's get my stream back up on the screen. Right, get that off there. Oh, no, that's not what I want to remove. No. Image, there we go. That's what I want to remove. I'm actually expecting... I'm actually expecting delivery, but it hasn't turned up yet. So, let's go right to the very end. So the Mikhail Kutuzov itself. Hopefully it'll fix one of the bugs that it was with it when it was in testing. As part of Mikhail Kutuzov, there is, with the admin back in, there is a special set of missions, which can only be obtained if you get the ship, and so I'm just going to get that admin back in now. So this set of missions, if I remember correctly, has a flag for the Kutuzov, so you can get a flag for her. Yes, they fixed the torpedoes. Wonderful. They no longer look like submersible launchers. So this is the Mikhail Kutuzov. Contrary to popular belief, she is not actually a Chapayev class ship. She's armed with the same 12 152mm guns, but she gets more advanced secondaries. She's got 12 secondaries in total, in three dual mounts, and she also has 2 quintuple launches of torpedoes. So 40,700 hit points survivability. Those 12 152mm guns have an 8-second reload and 25-second touch reverse. Fairly standard HE AP damage for the Russian cruisers. The 2200 and 3300 with 12% fire chance. 6x2 100mm secondary guns with 5km range, 4-second reload. Unlike the rest of the Russian cruisers, Kutuzov gets 8km torpedoes, and they travel at 60 knots at 1.2 km detectability. They do 14,400 damage and have just over a 2-minute reload. But they are quintuple launchers, so you can fire 5 off on each side. Maneuverability 33 knots, 760 meter turning circle, rudder shift time of 6.5 seconds, so she's fairly nimble. Concealment 14.5, 8.7 by air, 7.7 while firing in smoke. So, and speaking of smokescreen, Mikhail Kutuzov gets smokescreen and sonar, so it's going to be another Tier 7 cruiser with smokescreen. What she doesn't have though, she does not have 30mm bow armor. She gets 26, which is a bit of an odd number. Alright, so that's the Kutuzov covered very briefly. Now, in the store, we've got a sorry bundle. That's not a bad little bundle. Got a couple of camouflages. So this is for our technical issues that we had this morning. So make sure you redeem that. And we'll also get the daily reward as well. So get that as well while I'm here. So we've got a couple of bundles featuring the crates. Now I will go through what the crates have inside them. So there is a new camouflage, the Victory camouflage. And you've got the big silver crates here. So what we'll do, to answer everyone's questions, the Russian commanders are available in the store for Commander XP. So you've got Mikhail Kedorov, Lev Galev, Vladimir Trubutskoy, Nikolai von Essen, Stepan Makarov, Nikolai Kuznetsov, and Anton Gurin. And then we've got Smith, Arkansas, and Marblehead all in here. with some crates. And then here, you can buy your Soviet crates for silver. So you get standard Boggle standard crates silver, so you've got lots of silver left up. You can spend it on that. Big Soviet crate, you can get for some doubloons. And then you've got your usual packages after that. Right. Monarch. I'm sorry, Wargaming. Let me just check. Yeah. I'm sorry, Wargaming. But this ship should not have been implemented in its current state. So, I'm going to have a little bit of a rant here. And I do very much apologise to anybody who is watching, wanting me to say positive things and trying to put this, trying to shed a positive light on this ship. But frankly, I cannot bring myself to do so. Monarch is rubbish. Do not buy her in her current state. She is an up-tiered King George V class battleship with 30mm bow armour, increased belt armour along the sides, and 3 triple 15-inch guns. However, whilst her hull looks like the B hull for King George V, it is not the B hull for King George V because she only gets 53,900 hit points, which is a solid 18,000 less than Vanguard. In game, she's advertised as having hidden and nimble aim. Well, she does get slightly above average traverse speed, but that traverse speed for her guns is less than Vanguard and Tirpitz and Bismarck. Reload time is 25 seconds on those three triple 381mm guns. So you have a decent firing range, 16.7 kilometers, but they don't enjoy boosted HE damage. They don't enjoy boosted fire chance. Her maneuverability is stock. When I say stock, it is a King George V class with engine upgrade, but the base hull rudder shift. So 21-second rudder shift time. Concealment 15.2. I have no idea why she's classed as hidden because her concealment is exactly the same as Vanguard. I am sorry, but if you buy this ship as it is at the moment, you're an idiot. That is my little rant on Monarch. She is not worth 750,000 XP. I would not buy her in her current state. The only saving grace for her is, as I say, she does have slightly better armor, but in all other respects, she is a very poor ship. She gets Vanguard's heal. That's about it. I am sorry, Wargaming, but this ship is utter crap. I wanted so much to love this ship because it is stunning. It is a very pretty ship. But currently she has, by about 10,000 hit points, the lowest amount of hit points of any Tier 7 battleship. She has the worst rudder shift of any upgraded Tier 7 battleship, aside from Richelieu. I think Richelieu is the only one that has a worse rudder shift. Not Richelieu, Margay, sorry. Sorry, no, my Margay has a better rudder shift. So, yes, do not buy Monarch in her current state. If you have bought her or you do plan on buy her, just wait. She needs some serious love. Yeah, yes, the guns are good, but they are subpar HE damage wise. She's subpar speed wise. She's definitely subpar maneuverability wise. She's not hidden at all. She's got exactly the same concealment as Vanguard. She's got lowest number of hit points. Yeah, just right now, avoid her. Just avoid her. I am sorry, Wargaming. I've been waiting about a week to be able to say that, but this ship should not have gone live in her current state. I think you guys knew that, and I'm very disappointed to see that you haven't actioned feedback for this ship. I know there's reasons behind that, but that is me being brutally honest and very blunt. I am very sad to see the ship in the game in her current state. I wanted so much to like her, but I just can't. Okay, that out the way. The rest of the ships are all the usual. We do have an admiralty section, so you've got 750,000 for the Soviet crates for silver, or you can buy them for 45 of the campaign currency. You can buy 2 commander crates for 500 of the campaign currency. You can buy 2 insignias for 500. You can buy 20 promotion orders in total for, what was that on top of my head? That's 500 in total. So you can get 20 promotion orders for 500 of the commander campaign currency. Your standard Boggle commander pack. Get some 10 lots of 150,000 credits. Premium time, you got some premium time there. You can get 14. Is worth a premium for 700 of those campaign currencies. Rare boosters and the victory camouflages, which are actually quite kind of nice. And there is permanent camouflage available for Budjodi and Gnevny. They're for 1,000 of the campaign currency each. Now, I do believe, if I am not mistaken, no, I am mistaken. Oh, that sucks. Graf Zeppelin. But yes, that is my rundown of the update. Now, I would have absolutely loved to have then done some gameplay after this. Sadly, I've slightly overran a bit, like a bit of a pleb. So I am going to need to shoot. But I will do quickly though. I will showcase the Russian camouflage for you. So if you give me 2 moments. Let's stick on Alabama. Here is the victory camouflage in full. As you can see, she's not a bad looking ship at all. So yeah, that was my rundown of the this update. I can't really. There's not really much else to talk about, other than that the destroyers are now going to balance in each team. So it's going to be mirror matched for destroyers. So if there's 1 destroyer in the enemy team, there'll be 1 destroyer in your team. If there's 2 destroyers in the enemy team, there's going to be 2 in your team, so on and so forth. But thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. I know I would have liked to have done some gameplay. Don't get me wrong. I'd have loved to have done some myself, but unfortunately real life takes precedent. I will be online this evening again. Probably from about 8:30 PM. So I'll be online from 8:30 PM UK time. We could do some gameplay then. So if you want to tune in then, please do catch me then. In the meantime though, if you have enjoyed the stream and you haven't already done so, please hit that like, follow, subscribe button on whichever platform you are watching on. It helps me, helps the channels out. It helps get me noticed a bit more, and it also means you get notified when I go live in the future as well. So, thank you all for watching. I shall bid you farewell for the moment. And I shall catch you later on today when I do a gameplay stream from 8:30. So, goodbye, bye for now, and take care. See you later.